Cool. Is that up? Because that would be great. Testing, going live. We have not been live before, and now we are. We'll see how this goes. I wanted to experiment with live. I want to do some more stuff on live. I have a thought of getting you guys to send me some phone numbers, and then maybe I'll text you like a Zoom link, and we can do a Zoom call type thing. And we can share it here on the stream, and then we can answer some questions like in real time, have you guys featured on here. Hopefully that gives you guys some exposure to the world while also learning something, and then other people can learn from that as well. If you watch one of my last vlogs, you'll see where I thought about, there's a lot of like paid consulting that I do that I can't really talk about usually a lot of times because these businesses don't want a lot of their information out there. It's one thing when I'm helping someone that's doing startup stuff, and it's a favor for them. It's free. They're willing to let me, film it or talk about it or whatever. Or people who are just all about the learning and what I got going on. And they're like, yeah, sure, I don't care. Share it. But then when I do stuff for much larger businesses, there's a lot riding on the line, and they don't want that shared necessarily. So anyways, I had this thought in one of my last videos. Actually, I think it was the Q&A video that, working out some deals with doing some more startup consulting versus some of the other businesses we've worked with to try to film that stuff or create content off of it in exchange for letting us, doing the consulting and letting us film it or talk about it or whatever. So anyways, that was a thought. And that's part of why I wanted to sort of experiment with the live thing and see how that goes, because not everybody is here in our town of Bluffton, Hilton Head, and there's a lot of people, I think, around the world that we could do a Zoom thing or live or whatever and achieve what I'm trying to accomplish and help everybody out at the same time. So I am going to see if... Oh, we got a comment here. Definitely want to stay, but just to say, hey, Beav, kids and such, it's great coming through. Clear as day, looks great. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to know everybody can hear me and see me since we're doing this for the first time. Brandon Dudley, thank you for the support. You have no idea how much I appreciate the support time after time from everybody who continues to watch stuff. YouTube's such a funny thing. It's super hard, and I struggle a lot with YouTube. And there's two things about YouTube. One, I love it. It's like a love-hate thing. Like, I love it because there's so much upside to it. It gives me a creative outlet to do things, and I love to experiment with making videos, and that kind of stuff is a creative outlet for me to kind of just do what I want. And post it here. I like to help people and educate people and teach people things that I've learned along the way that have helped us build such a huge, successful company. And then the other side of it, selfishly, is like I get to have all these old videos to look back and watch, whether it's Alex and I going to Hong Kong, which is like one of the first vlogs on this channel 3 or 4 years ago, and where that has what we were doing there. And there's like, it's really funny. I was just telling one of my employees about this video because he was asking about some stuff in my office, some like cups and drinkware. And we were in Hong Kong consulting for this company and doing some work with them with this drinkware that we eventually went on to sell to Target and all the stuff. So you can still go to Target. The brand is called Proof, and it's a drinkware company. They're like bottles and cups and mugs and stuff like that. Proof is the name of the brand, but it's really cool to like be able to look back at that stuff back then and what we were up to, and where it's gone, and just kind of like the whole journey along the way. I enjoy looking back at it myself, so I hope you guys have enjoyed following along as well. If you're new here, which I imagine most of the people watching, the couple of you who are watching are subscribed and probably got a notification or follow me on Instagram, so you have an idea. But if you happen to stumble across this and you're new, my name is Beav. I own a company called Tactical Baby Gear. And, we design and manufacture like military-style diaper bags for dads. And we've had, massive success over the past few years. Been featured in all kinds of publications, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, et cetera, amongst many other really cool things. So quick little history about who I am and what we got going on. Ryan E is asking about the wall back here. So this is an outside living area under our back deck. It's like a patio under the deck. Let's see if I can show a little bit more of it. I don't know. You can see there's this patio area. I got a TV and all this kind of stuff here. Anyways, it's like it's a Japanese boxwood is what that green stuff is. And I got it on Amazon. It can get a little bit pricey. They come in 20-inch squares. Anyways, I just staple gunned it back there when we redid this whole area. That was one of the things we did. Everybody loves it. Everybody asks about it. Everyone that comes over. Let me see if I can find a link to it and throw it in the chat. Stand by. I got my computer open. If you guys want to ask any questions about marketing, e-commerce, any of that kind of stuff, I welcome those. I prefer to answer those types of questions. Come on. We can certainly get into that while I look this up. Japanese boxwood. Let's I'm going live right now while I wait for the Mike Tyson fight to come on. So I'm excited for that. Okay. Here is this the exact same one, but certainly very similar. This is let me see if I can post this in the chat. There you go. Ryan E. A link to that on Amazon. Anyways, Black Friday. How many many of you actually real quick, I'm going to take one more second to make a post on Instagram. Actually, if you guys would, is there a way, how do I share this? How do I share? Yeah, here we go. Copy. Sorry, let me post this on Facebook real fast. See if we can get a few more people in here, and then we'll start talking about Black Friday stuff. Come on. Mike Tyson fight. I'm excited about the Mike Tyson fight. I have really, honestly, no interest in, like, boxing per se. I just love the fact that, like, I never really ever got to watch Mike Tyson. The thumbnail is like me drinking a beer. This is hilarious. Live on YouTube now. I never watched Mike Tyson box. And, you hear all these legendary stories and all this stuff. And, who knows if we'll ever get to watch something like this again. So I figured I'd take advantage of it and watch it. I think it's cool. But that's I'm really not into boxing. More into MMA, like on a surface level, but not like super deep. But I do enjoy watching it and hanging out with my buddies and that kind of stuff. So, okay, so that is now shared to Facebook. And I'm going to ask your marketing / e-commerce questions. Can I pin this? Bear with me, guys. Oh yeah. There we go. Trying to figure out how to use YouTube Live. First time. I love doing live. I have more fun on live, like Instagram Live, Facebook Live. I've done that. Never done YouTube Live, so I'm excited for it. But would you get Jocko on your podcast to talk about parenting? Brandon, yes, I would love to have Jocko on the podcast. I do have a connection to him. I want to do a little bit more homework, and I want to have like some real gangster questions to ask. But I know he's got a children's book out and all kinds of stuff. Absolutely want to have Jocko on our Tactical Baby Gear podcast. I think it would be incredible. We have some other really good ones coming up. I just had a former NFL football player on the podcast. His name is Trevon Reed. He played for a lot of big, like the Raiders, the 49ers, the I don't know, 3 or 4. He's been on several teams. He kind of bounced around. He had some injuries, so he got cut and yada yada yada. He's had a kind of a tough go, but awesome. Man, what a nice guy. Super nice guy. I've got a lot of love and respect for him. So that one's coming up. I just had a therapist who's like a not a psychologist, I guess, but anyways, he's a licensed therapist on the Tactical Baby Gear podcast. We were talking about parenting with him, and man, was that ended up, that's our longest podcast we've ever done. I think it's about 2 hours, and there's some really interesting information from someone like that, someone's point of view who really understands psychology and, you know, a lot of stuff. It's really, really good. His name was Philip Searcy. Anyways, Black Friday. Black Friday for us this year was very interesting. Leading up to Black Friday, we have big ambitions and big expectations for Black Friday. I preach it to a lot of you guys about how important it is to do a lot of like the upfront work to Black Friday, like leading up to Black Friday, so that you can really fully execute on it. And we were like down to the wire last night. Oh yeah, vigilant and humble like that. Got my hoodie on. We were down to the wire last night with meeting our goal, which we did meet. We actually beat it by a little bit, which we were very excited about. But Black Friday just did not feel the same this year, and I don't know why, and I don't know. I'll be curious from you guys who are, in the retail world or e-commerce. Was Black Friday the same for you? Did it feel the same? Did you meet or beat last year? Did you do worse than last year? So answer that if you have anything. Answer that in the chat, but I'll keep talking about our situation. So it just didn't feel the same. It didn't have that initial impact, and I started to like kind of stress out midday, like, man, I don't think we're going to hit our goal, and I was pulling levers all day long, all night, adjusting budgets on Facebook ads, trying to, make optimization tweaks, which ads are working, which ads are not working, turning off ones that aren't working as well, or that have, a high cost per purchase, even though the ROAS was decent. I just didn't think we'd get the volume and things like that. So I was adjusting budgets, turning things off, turning things on, that kind of stuff all day long, trying to really optimize and get the most bang for our buck on Facebook. And then Pinterest, same thing. I was adjusting stuff on Pinterest. I think there's a massive opportunity on Pinterest for anybody watching who is looking for somewhere else inexpensive to advertise, primarily female demographic, but there are plenty of men there, and there's a lot of like automotive interests there and things of that nature. So, but it's much cheaper to advertise on Pinterest right now. It's not super saturated with ads, so I think there's a lot of opportunity there for sure. Yeah, Pinterest is a big deal. Facebook is super saturated. I think, the costs were higher than expected. We spent a tremendous amount of money, and it was like, that's partially why it was so stressful. It was like, we were spending so much money on Facebook. We better hit these goals. But yeah, the cost on Facebook. I mean, think about this. Think about it. And I think a lot of people were seeing that leading up to Facebook, and they were starting to question whether Facebook ads were worth it or not. And I think that's partially because, you had the election leading into the holidays that was like tons and tons of money pumped into the system, which were driving up the cost. There was hundreds of millions of dollars of political campaign money pumped into Facebook that everyone's competing with. And then there's the COVID, which is a whole nother problem in and of itself, that creates one uncertainty, but has also forced a lot of companies online, has, forced them to start running Facebook ads for the business, to getting people to check out, on their restaurant app or whatever. So they're more digital than they were before. So there's just a lot more going on with in terms of Facebook ads. So there's just a lot more competition driving up cost, etc. So after the campaign, CPMs dropped down a little bit, but then they like came right back up. And I've seen CPMs recently that were just, $30 and $40 CPMs. CPM, by the way, is cost per thousand, if you're not familiar. So $40 to get in front of 1,000 people versus it used to be like $7, $8, $9. So, I mean, the cost is through the roof. So a lot of people, prior to Black Friday were questioning, is it even worth advertising on Facebook anymore because I'm not getting any returns? And it's tough. And I think that's where you had to have some cash reserves to try to like continue to market and advertise and get top of funnel awareness, knowing that that was an upfront investment for the holidays, to be able to retarget all of the people that engaged with your brand and your content, retargeting them now, making up for that top of funnel upfront investment of that engagement. But it was tough. A lot of people don't have that kind of cash to dump into it to not get the returns immediately. And then there was people who were just waiting on sales, who just weren't purchasing yet. We saw that. We had a massive Veterans Day, huge day, week, really set us up for the month. It was excellent. But then we saw a huge low, like pretty similar to last year, but we were trying to figure out, but it lasted longer. We were like, what the heck is going on? People were just waiting. They knew Black Friday was right around the corner. People just waiting for the deals. And now, hopefully, like us, the rest of you are seeing that spike in revenue, those conversions, ads finally getting, a good return on ad spend, etc. Vigilant and humble. What you got? Did better than last year, but definitely feel you on feeling it, on it not feeling right. What's some good ways to get better customer turnovers? Yesterday we had 34 sessions, 20 reached checkout, only 16 converted. That's not bad numbers per se. It's low volume, but in terms of the number of sessions, it's in line. So typically you see, for easy math, let's say 8%. This is pretty general, depends on the price point and how well your website, is getting people to convert. But you see 8% of people add to cart. Half of those people, 4%, are going to continue to check out, and then only half of those people are going to actually complete their purchase. So it looks like, but quick math and ratios, that you're a little bit above that. So now it's just a numbers game. It's a volume game. You've got to get more people on the website. If you can maintain those numbers, those ratios, you'll do excellent. You just need to, and then you have the opportunity on some of these who fell off, retarget them, abandoned carts, Facebook ads, etc. If you're collecting phone numbers, texting, all that kind of stuff. What time is it? I don't want to miss the fight. I got about 30 minutes. That's a good question though, and I think that a lot of people look at that, with like they're losing so many customers. Well, that's everybody. I mean, that's if you go out to the retail mall, how many people walk in the store and then browse around and then leave versus how many people actually stand in line and check out. It's a small percentage. It's the same thing if you think about it like that. So just because that many you get, so however many sessions, this many people reach checkout, this many people converted, I'm losing X amount of customers. In fact, I think I was even wrong. 34 sessions, 20 of them reached checkout and 16 converted. That means you have if I'm reading that right and you typed it right, that means you have a 50% conversion rate. That's outrageous, like 48%, whatever that math is. If 34 people came and 16 people purchased, that's outrageous. The problem is, as you scale that and drive more and more traffic, your conversion rate is going to dive because you're sending, more cold traffic. The 16 people that came and converted were coming to, they were coming to purchase. The other few people maybe they saw an ad and were curious but weren't ready to purchase or didn't mean anything to anybody or whatever. But those are not terrible numbers, so don't freak out about that. What you need to be worried about is just cranking up the volume for sure. Any other questions? Any other questions? What's another one good related to that I can expand on? I don't know. Let's see if anybody got today's even a little bit slower. I feel like I might have to jump off of here and do a little work here in a little bit and really try to crank some stuff up. See what happens. Who you got for the fight tonight? You know, I don't know. Tonight's fight is just going to be fun. I texted a buddy of mine. I said, what's up, man? You watching Mike Tyson today? He's like, I'm not paying money to watch those old farts fight. And I think it's just going to be fun. It'll be cool. It'll be, you know, being able to watch the legend fight that I never watched fight. So I don't really care. I mean, I think it'd be... I don't want to see Mike Tyson lose, actually. I guess is now really thinking about it. I don't want to see Mike Tyson lose because I don't want him to lose kind of that edge. I don't know if that's the right word. You know, Dana White, when Mike Tyson announced that he was fighting, Dana White from UFC tried to match him the amount of money he was being paid to not fight. Like, hey, you know, I think it was $50 million or something. He's like, I'll pay you the $50 million not to fight, just to keep Mike Tyson like the greatest of all time legend. If he comes back now and loses immediately, like, it doesn't take away what he did, and I think it's a completely different thing. But I also understand that, and I'm kind of like in that camp at the same time. Is like, I don't want to see him lose, but you know, whatever. It's just fun. I got nothing better to do tonight. Hang out with you guys, watch some fights, drink some beer. You know. Anyone else got any questions, thoughts? Who you guys? Is anybody else watching the fight tonight? Let me know. Hans, let's not bark, bro. I got this German Shepherd. He's loud and deaf. And he thinks he hears things sometimes. I mean, he probably heard something. But he just barks. He's a grumpy old man. Hans, come here, dude. YouTube Live. Man, fun. Fun. Sorry, I'm just checking to see. Let me know. Okay, so earlier when I hopped on, I was explaining how in the Q&A, one of the last videos I did was a Q&A, and I talked about doing some, like, I think we should do the live, either do YouTube Live with some of you guys and do like a full consulting session in a way, ask all the questions I would normally ask and go through, help me understand your business so I can help you. But doing it, you know, on a live or recording it, doing it not on live, but recording it and being able to use it for content. Is there anyone, one, do you think it's a good idea? And two, is anybody interested in that? That would be a thing I'd be interested to see if you guys are into. So, earlier I was talking about YouTube and how much I, have like a love-hate relationship with YouTube because it's so hard. And part of the problem I have is, I think, is getting people to pay attention to what I have to say, because I don't know how to quantify my success without talking about I don't feel comfortable talking about, you know, the type of revenue we do. And I don't know how to quantify our success otherwise. So I think a lot of people probably land on a video. Either my videos suck and no one wants to watch, which is fine. I just wish some people would tell me. But two, I think that they're like, what is it? Who the hell is this guy? What does he know? Like, why should I pay attention to what he has to say? So that's where I struggle. I think I have more success on YouTube if I was willing to take that road, but I'm not. So I don't know. How do you guys think? In your mind, what are types of things that quantify success for you? I'd be curious to know. I would love some help and feedback from the community on one, what types of videos you want to see. I love making videos for you guys. I just sometimes get stuck on what to make because I don't know what you guys need to know, and answering very specific nitty-gritty questions is better than just big, broad, general information where I throw a bunch of stuff at you and then you're like, I don't know how to do that. I want to know what you don't know how to do so I can teach that or whatever. That would be super helpful. The second thing, I think it's a great idea. Like when you were, yes. Yeah. I mean, I did a recorded call with Dan from Combat Flags a while back. Dan's such a nice guy. Literally one of my favorite people I've met online through this community. What a good dude. Combat Flags is awesome. You guys go check them out for sure. Dan is like, if you're not familiar with Combat Flags, he takes worn fatigues, military uniforms, that gets donated to him, and he cuts them up and turns them into like an American flag. You put stars and stripes on them. Then you also get a card with it that has the name of the service member who wore that uniform and what they did. So I've got one that talks about, this helicopter pilot and, what tours he did and what missions or whatever. And it's really cool that these guys, kind of get out of the service, donate their uniforms, or even, I don't think they're even necessarily always like retired veterans or anything, but anyways, really cool. Also sells other products too. Bigger, like 3x5 camouflage flags, proper American flags, really cool stuff, really high end, like puts a lot of effort into it. His branding is incredible. I think he does an excellent job, and he is so funny because he does such a good job but doubts himself so much. So every once in a while I have to give him a little swift kick in the ass and give him some confidence that he's doing a really good job. Yeah. Absolutely love my 2 combat flags, one from Vietnam and one from the Ranger that was KIA. Yeah, that's the crazy thing, or when you get one from someone who was killed. I know he's had some uniforms with like blood stains on them and stuff like that before. That's crazy, and it's a really cool piece of history to have, and to have the story. And like it, every time I talk about it or look at mine and read the thing, or tell someone about it, like the hairs on my arms stand up. It's kind of crazy. All right, what next? I don't even know. I feel like I should have had an agenda. What do we want to talk about? I got an exciting new thing coming up in the next week and a half, probably. It'll fully take place this week. I got to get some other things in place. Now I'm going to make a video about it. That'll be fun. I'm excited to share some big news there with you. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll create some more content, some more creativity, hopefully inspire some other people. So I'm excited for that. Stream is healthy. I'm just checking YouTube data here. Just checking the YouTube data. So back to YouTube being such a struggle. I just don't want to be clickbaity. I don't want to be grouped into the other group of people who are making content on the internet around e-commerce and marketing. And a lot of those people, Tyler, what's up, dude? Tyler's awesome. Tyler Smith and I go way back to dangerous early years. We won't tell any stories yet. Maybe a couple more beers and we'll get there. Anyways, what was I talking about? Son of a bitch. I don't even remember. There's a solid lag in this, though. Somebody remind me what I was talking about before Tyler interrupted. Oh, I feel like I should add an agenda. Something new's coming up. Yeah, I can't even remember now. Oh, let's answer some questions. I asked you guys for questions about a week ago, and I was going to make a video, and I started making that video, and then I never got to it to finish it. So let's answer them now. Okay. Oh, yes. God, thank you so much, Benjamin. I don't want to be like, and then I'll get back to the questions. I've got like 6 questions on this first page. We'll answer some of those. Thank you. God, that's why I love you guys. You know, this is only my first beer. I'm not drunk yet. All right. So I don't want to be categorized in the same way that a lot of the other YouTube channels are, in terms of the ones that are marketing and e-commerce, right? The how to make $10,000 a day, drop shipping shit on it. Like, they sell bogus information that doesn't work in order to sell a course that doesn't work. So they're getting you hooked with some video title that is super clickbaity, and you know, it's like everyone's looking for the easy button, and people watching these videos are trying to find the quick, easy route. That doesn't exist. And then you watch the video that they're going to promise you this information, but then at the end of it, you have to go to their website and give them an email address, or buy the $379 course, or some ebook, or some download this. Like, it's bullshit. And they get views, they get subscribers, and they're just leading people on. And it's just clickbaity. It's like just shitty salesman. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels icky and gross to me, and I'm not willing to like be categorized or grouped in, is a better way to put it. Grouped in with that particular group of YouTubers. And YouTube does do that. They will group channels together. So if you've ever noticed, if anybody's ever watched like a Peter McKinnon video about camera stuff and video stuff, it'll feed you Matty Hippoa and Lizzie Pierce and Chris Howe and all these other video YouTube people who have done collaborations and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But like, they're grouped together. I'm trying to remember. I talked to Daryl Eves about this, and at Vid Summit they went over it. They group channels together into, I guess they call them groups, or there was a name for it. But anyways, sorry, I don't want to get grouped into that type of group of channels. So I try to steer clear of that type of like clickbaity title content stuff, and I'd rather it be more fun, organic, real, true information than trying to sell you a bunch of bullshit lies to sell you a course. Like, I got nothing to sell you. I make plenty of money with our business. I don't need it from you guys. I'd rather genuinely just help you guys out. So that's why I have a hard time on YouTube. Thank you for the reminder, Benjamin Dennis. I said Davis earlier, I think. Benjamin Dennis. Here you go. I'd love to start a channel based on Grayson and I exploring all over South Carolina. I've always loved the video and editing voiceover side. Where do I start? Tyler, hang on with that one. Vigilant and humble. I refuse to buy a course from a so-called master. There's way too much free information on there. 100%. There's a lot of free information on the internet. I think what I really want to do, and I alluded to this in one of my last videos in one of the Q&As, is doing like a e-commerce masterclass on YouTube, probably just like a playlist on my channel, and filming and remaking some of the old videos to make sure they're up to date. You know, you're talking about how to make a Facebook ad. Like, the back end of Facebook has changed so much. So like, while the process is still very similar, there's like things look different. So if someone watches that video from 2 years ago and they try to do it today and follow along step by step, they're going to have to look for it in a slightly different place. So I'd like to update a lot of that stuff and make it more streamlined and have, e-commerce 101, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and really walk people through e-commerce within some series of videos, or do it as like a one single 2-hour video. I don't know. I think small parts, it'd be easier to go back and find what you're looking for if it was like part 1, setting up your website, part 2, fulfilling orders, or whatever, and then shipping and logistics, and so go through and talk about how to price shipping, how to, if you're getting high volume, how to negotiate shipping rates, like a straight up like e-commerce masterclass. Taxes, when it comes to Nexus and hitting certain thresholds in certain states, do you need to be collecting sales tax in these states and filing it? How are you going to do that? And yada yada yada, all that kind of stuff. And then if you're profitable, you're trying to figure out what to do about taxes. I just had this conversation with someone the other day who was freaking out. They had success this year. They made a lot of money. They're trying to figure out what to do because they're like, I'm going to have to pay a ton of money in taxes. This is ridiculous. I'm like, yeah, welcome to actually being a profitable business. So then it's like, maybe giving ideas on things that you should be doing, or expensing, or whatever the case is, and giving some thought as to how to lower your tax liability legally. Like, I'm not trying to, go to jail, but like legal stuff there. Conversion rate optimization, fulfillment centers, linking that, different types of middleware, software, tracking inventory, managing inventory, planning inventory, manufacturing, how to make a product from start to finish, prototyping, etc. Like all these types of things I'd love to cover in like a full-blown masterclass series. Okay, Tyler, starting a channel with your son. You do some really cool stuff. It's a shame. So Tyler does a lot of like outdoor camping and adventure stuff. Really just fun with his son, but he's been all over the state of South Carolina and gotten, I don't know, you've camped at like probably almost every single one of them at this point. Anyways, it'd be cool if you were documenting that from the beginning, because you would have it. Like, that's why I'm obsessed with documenting. I have so much footage of my kids and videos we've made and stuff with them that like I will cherish forever. But just start, man. Like, if you don't need any fancy camera, you don't need a fancy editing software. You can literally use your iPhone and like iMovie on a Mac and it can work. And then, or there's like other options. Like, I'm using a Sony A7 S3 to live stream with a Rode video mic NTG, and that's what I make a lot of videos on, and I edit in Adobe Premiere. But the biggest thing is just start. Like, watch other YouTube videos, try to like mimic styles of things that you like. The voiceover stuff, either invest in a nice microphone, something like this. You could talk right into it very closely, hold it up to your mouth for voiceover, or literally use the recorder in your phone. I've heard of people doing that. I don't think the quality is that bad, but just start. Like, it's repetition, like anything else that you eventually get good at. You just have to keep doing it. It's like exercise. Like, doing push-ups one time isn't going to make you stronger and that kind of stuff. Like, you've got to do push-ups every single day, and that eventually gets makes you stronger, gets you in better shape, etc. Sit-ups, however you want to look at it, right? So yeah, it's just repetition, getting better at it, learning more editing process and techniques and things of that nature. The YouTube channel, I just started a YouTube channel. I think and I just upload them. Just start. The first one is definitely the hardest, but who gives a shit? Like, just do it. Just do it, like Nike. Listen. So the whole Nike thing, there was like the big debacle and everyone was like boycotting Nike and all that stuff, which I completely understand and get. But I'm like such a sneakerhead. I don't really care about the Nike brand. It's like the collaboration or the sneaker itself, the colorway. Like I don't care if it's Nike, Puma. I'm a sucker for Puma. Puma, like as many Nikes as I own, like I got way too many pairs of shoes. But Puma has a special place in my heart. There's something about them that just resonates with me, like the fit, some of the styles, some funky colors. I got some crazy Pumas that were some collaboration with some artist that I wore the crap out of, that I probably shouldn't have wore the crap out of, that I really need to like glue back together. They're at my office. I love them. But I got a lot of like Jordan 1s or my jam. I love Jordan 1s. The Nike Blazer. I'm a huge fan of the Blazer. The Off-White collaborations and all that kind of stuff. I got too many. Tyler says, what camera is a good compromise between quality and size? Great question. The new Sony just came out with a new camera. I think it just came in stock finally. It's the Sony A7C. And it is a compact, full-frame sensor camera, just like what I'm using here. Let's see if I can show you. But it doesn't have... it's more compact, but it uses like full-frame lenses, full-frame quality, etc. So, yeah, you guys should be able to see this, right? So this is the Sony A7 S3. Let me see. It's got the flip out screen here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm trying to be tricky. Who knows? I have no idea. A7C with probably, if you're going to be doing like vlog style stuff, Tyler, and you're holding the camera talking to it, I would recommend a wider lens, such as like I'm using right now, the 16 to 35 f4. Great lens. That whole package together, it can get pricey for sure. So I think a lot of it depends on your budget. You're probably $2,500 now. If you went to, because I think the camera's about $1,200 or $1,500, and this lens is like another $1,000. You could use like a Canon M50, and you could be into a camera, a lens, microphone, all that kind of stuff for like under $1,000. It's decent quality. It's not the best. It's not the worst, but it's compact. It's inexpensive. So if you were out camping, hiking, dropped it off the top of your truck, whatever, you wouldn't be out that much money to replace it. So there's that. F-mount. What is F-mount? Nikon? I'm not sure what the F-mount is. Sony is the FE. That the Sony A7C would be it's an E mount, but the full frame is the FE. There's also like the Sony A6400 and the A6600, which is a crop sensor camera body that you can use crop sensor lenses on. It's like the whole system is just way less expensive, but I know you and you want higher quality stuff. So oh no, it's telling me my stream connection. My stream connection's getting low. Tyler, the Ritz protection plan. Tyler and I in high school worked at Ritz Camera in the mall together on Hilton Head. That was like the most interesting job I've ever had, and I'll leave it at that. It was crazy. All right, I gotta open a widget. It says, hold on, I don't know what I'm doing. It says, did we lose? Okay, now it's back to good. I'm back. Yeah, Ritz Camera. That was a hell of a job. All right, cool. Well, I'm really glad that some of you guys jumped on and tuned in to the live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to doing this again in the future. I do have the ability to do like screen sharing and all that kind of stuff. So let's test it out real quick. So if we go to screen capture, so you guys should now be able to see like my website. So we can run through like, you know, how to do Facebook stuff, or, you know, breaking down someone's website. If you wanted me to check out your website, we can do that right now. If anybody wants to drop me a link, and we can kind of do like a website critique review type of thing. And get myself out of the way here. Oh no, it doesn't work that way, huh? What's up with that? Guess I gotta fix that one. But anyways, we got some tricky stuff going on here. Dang, that's a good one. Vigilant and humble. What's the best Shopify theme for mobile optimization? That I don't know. I actually thought about doing a video that was titled the best free theme for Shopify. And the answer is I don't think there's any one best theme for anybody. I think it depends on what you sell, how many products you sell, etc. We did millions of dollars a year on a free Shopify theme before we like went to some custom theme. The theme that we're on now for Shopify is completely custom built. So it just depends on what you're selling, how many products you have, etc. Do you need a lot of like customization, drop down menu, this like Andrew from Henry Holsters? What's up, bro? He probably has a lot of drop down stuff, like right-handed, left-handed, with a light, without a light. Probably not anymore. Maybe he doesn't do this. He's probably got it more streamlined now because he has a lot of stuff in stock. But back in the day, that was it. Is it right-hand? Is it a Glock 17, a Glock 19, a Glock 26? Is it right-handed or left-handed? Can't, no can't, inside the waistband, outside the waistband, light, no light, this light, that light. Like RMR cut, 1.5 inch belt loops, 1.75 inch belt loops. Like you go on down the list, there was options and options and options. So there's gonna be like themes that cater to that kind of things better than others, or you use an app like Bold Options that helps break that down. So there's a lot of different ways to skin the cat in terms of themes, and a lot of it too is like the aesthetic of like, how do you want it to look? Do you want the menu to be like this? Do you want the menu to be like that? So a lot of times it doesn't matter which way it is. It's just a personal preference type of thing. So again, we did millions of dollars a year on like Debut, I think maybe was the theme that we were using at the time. I'll have to go back and look. I can't remember. Or maybe it was Minimalist, or there's a couple of good free themes, and there's some great paid themes. Turbo for Shopify from Out of the Sandbox. They sell a theme called Turbo. It's an excellent theme. It's highly customizable. Like almost every single thing you could think about it is customable. It's very similar to ours. I just helped someone build a website on Turbo, and I was super impressed with it. And I think it's going to work out really well for them. I was a huge fan of that. And if I ever switched my website, which we will likely, eventually we'll switch our theme again, but Turbo was something I would certainly look at for sure. Andrew, roast you with what? You want me to go over your website? You want to show everybody your website? I don't mind doing like a critique or tear down. If anybody wants me to like check out their website, we can kind of go through it, talk about the pros and cons of what you got going on, what I might do. A lot of like, keep in mind too, a lot of stuff is like my opinion. Now, granted, it's based on things that we have seen work or not work, but I'm happy to kind of give my input on anyone's website for sure. All right, let me get to his website. Okay, you guys, will you guys just quick in the comments let me know that you can see his website real fast? We've added and subtracted categories. Yeah. Okay, cool. Just make sure that well, you could probably, now you're seeing the stream. Okay. So henryholsters.com. The first thing when I look at a website, I want to know, who are you? What do you do? What do you sell? Is that very clear? As somebody who's coming to the website for the first time, for example. So Henry Holsters alone, that says a lot. Durable, practical, comfortable. I like it. Home, your menu up top is very clear and concise. Products, holster making supplies, company. Here's one thing I would consider maybe. So products looks like it might be a catch-all for all of your products. Andrew, I would consider breaking this out under, either do a drop down under products if you can, or I don't know how much your business holster making supplies is. I mean, I know more about your business, but I think I would, under products, I would do a drop down and I would have it be except like holsters and mag carriers, accessories and attachments, and then holster maker tools and supplies. I would drop that from this products thing here, because it's sort of redundant in terms of that's not where you want people to go. If they're clicking on products, you don't want to muddy the waters here with a product that's not relevant to what they clicked on. I would either break this page out further or do a drop down menu. Okay, so let's go through a few more menu things here, and then we'll get into a product detail page. This looks good. Appendix, inside the waistband, sparklight, bearing holsters, flint holsters. I like the name of that. That's kind of cool. Magazine carriers. All this stuff makes total sense. Machining some comps now, huh? Man. Yo, I don't want to miss this Mike Tyson fight. We got to make this quick. I feel like you've got better breakout here on the home page than you do in the drop-down menu, which isn't a bad thing because you do want people to scroll for sure. So I'm going to holster making supplies, a few random pieces. Again, well, I guess is that a maker? So the drop-down hanger, is that a maker supply thing, or is that an actual product that really ought to go with the rest of your holster products? Just a question. I don't really know the answer. This stuff is good. About us, frequently asked questions, blog, podcast, contact, all good there. Let me go to like contact real fast. Cool. Bingo bango. You've done a good job. You're pretty squared away. You know what you're doing. Okay. I'm assuming that since you're promoting this product as your hero image on the homepage, that you're really pushing for people to buy it, even at the low price of $18. I hope it's like at least high profit margins, or you do crazy volume in it, or you have like, but realistically, I don't know if this is a decision for you, just something to think about. If this isn't something that brings you boatloads of revenue, I don't know if I would like take up that prime real estate for it, but maybe it does. I don't know. I'm just posing it as a question, or a thought, I should say. All right, so products. Let's break down this a little bit further. So you go to magazine, holsters. Actually, hold on. I'm going to take a step back. Andrew, think about this for me too. So people read in an F pattern, right? Left to right, top to bottom. This drop down thing in the number one position, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that this is not your top selling product or category. Perhaps it is, but I'm assuming that the holsters and mag carriers is a primary seller for you, and I would consider changing those positions to make holsters and mag carriers your number one position, based on your business model and what you sell. But anyways, maybe I'm wrong in my assumption. Just something to keep in mind. The website's pretty straightforward. Part of me wishes it was broken out a little bit more into like, here's a holster collection, here's mag carriers, here's accessories, and then here's, holster making stuff. Maybe you've tested that, but that would be my initial approach to it. So I've had to go quite a few clicks into the website now just to get here. If you look at these are called crumb trails. I think there's two different phrases for them, but up here at the top, like, you can kind of see the series of clicks I had to make to get just to a product page. You've got a bunch of drop downs, as I suspected. What type of gun is it? Loops, exactly what I was. Sweat guard, so a lot of customization you can do. Extra attachments, grip hook, blah, 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 blah. This stuff is good. You show customer reviews. You got plenty of photos, all good stuff. Good description. I assume you've done some homework on SEO. I would make sure that a lot of the product description for anybody has some good SEO in there, for search engine optimization is what that stands for. The only thing I don't like so far about this really is the color of the add to cart button. Everything else has an orange link. Your logo and tagline here at the top is gray, white, and orange. Everything else is white, gray, orange, and then you have this like funky, like mustard yellow colored button. It just doesn't feel like on brand. It feels a little out of place to me. So I would consider doing that in orange to match. You've got a video here. Excellent. I'm actually kind of a fan of these tab things, but I think it's an experiment thing that you'd have to run to see. I think it just depends. I also can tell you from experience, most people aren't going to scroll down that far. If this website theme has an option to get this up, the tabs up further into the product description, I would consider that if you have the ability to do so. All right, so let's add this to the cart. Is this Shopify? Oh, hell no. Hold on. Andrew, I gotta give you my email address to add this thing to the cart. I would get rid of that, I think. Unless you've tested it and you get a ton of email addresses that convert like at a stupid rate. That to me is like a bit, I would be like, all right, screw that, I'm out. Like, that is a big like barrier to entry. I guarantee if you can't even add it to the cart without an email address, which I see here it says no thanks, I'll add my email later. But I would really consider not doing that. But again, I could be wrong. You might have the data that shows that it works well. Okay, a little note about billing address, shipping address. Understood. Again, the colors of stuff not matching, I would try to make this stuff consistent. The red thing, I understand. It's like a big like notice. You want to make sure people see it. I don't love this green confirmation that it's been added to cart. I would try to update that to a different color if possible. Easy to apply a coupon code. That's great. Again, the funky colored button, not a big fan. Free shipping, excellent. Shipping options will be updated during checkout. Okay. Let's see. I'm not going to go through this and put my address here. If you don't offer free shipping on this holster, I would just be cautious of having that say free shipping and then it calculating shipping, and then all of a sudden it's like $9 instead of free. That could be a big barrier to entry. A reason the number one reason people abandon shopping carts is over shipping costs. So I wouldn't scare them out if this doesn't actually have free shipping, I would find a different placeholder for that, unless it's free shipping, and then cool. But yeah, cool. That's my 2 cents on this website. I hope you guys could see what I was talking about. I just realized my face might have been in the way in some of that stuff, but I think you got the point. Goes both ways. Some customers buy individual units. All right, so I'm going to read some stuff now that he's feeding me information back. We can learn from this. Drop hanger does both ways. Some customers buy individual units. The hero item is there because we get more emails about customers not finding it on the website. I think the categories are sorted alphabetically. I should switch them. WordPress, WooCommerce, WordPress, everything ships free, period. Even the $18 OCD ships free. Cool. Well, hey, free shipping, like, you should have no issues with abandoned carts over shipping costs then. So that's excellent. I'd just be cautious of putting that, using that prime real estate for that product, and maybe just adding a menu at the top that's like, you know, sanitizer holder. What is that thing called? OCD. At the top or something. I don't know. I would just consider some additional drop down menu stuff, and I can show you on ours. So let me switch screens here. Similar to ours, like if this for you was holsters, for example, and you had a couple of drop downs, made it easy. I didn't have to click through a bunch of stuff, but it was easy to just go directly to a page that they were looking for. For example, like our day pack mini, if I click that, it's going to take me directly to that page. Baby carrier, same thing. I could find the instructions, registration, the baby carrier under accessories. You get the idea, right? So it's something I would maybe consider and like map out. And one way I do this, this is going to be good information for you guys. One way I like to map out navigation is with Post-it notes, and sort of take Post-it notes, write down the different menu items you need, whether it's, you know, holsters, accessories, the hand sanitizer thing, holster making products, whatever it is, and then start like just like on the floor, on a desk, or on the wall, start laying it out to where it makes sense, and like, oh, though this should go over here and this should go over here, and then apply that to the website. And that's a really fun exercise to go through, and it's like really clarifies a lot of stuff a lot of times. Let this thing catch up, and then I'm gonna jump off of here. I got a fight to watch. How do I get to it? I need live events. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh I'm so excited. Yeah, play. Cool. Watch a live fight while we wrap up this YouTube live stream. Cool. Yes, drop downs would reduce clicks and make the navigation way easier. Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm super thankful for all of you who tuned in. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. Please share this stuff with your friends. Let them know where to find me. It would mean an awful lot to me. I really genuinely just want to help you guys out. Again, I'm not trying to sell you courses or anything like that. So make sure you subscribe. I don't know that I'll share this video after the stream or not. I don't know. I probably will, because why not? And that's it. Cheers. Have a good night. Peace.